Okay, so this is how you actually physically lay down your tracks. I will be switching between, due to the fact that I don't have a USB microphone, I will be switching between headphones for physically laying the tracks down, and then I will switch to my soundbar so that you can hear what I have going on, because my current audio setup is I'm running my computer through my TV, and I'm running my TV sound through a soundbar. It creates an input latency, so from the time I strum the note until you physically hear it, there's an input delay, and I'd rather just avoid all that. So for right now, that's just what I have going on. So I will frequently be going down here and switching between two different audio sources. If you don't hear a sound, I am sorry, I'm doing what I can with what I have to work with. But anyways, we are going to fire up, once again it decides to surface over there. Okay, once again, audacity's pulled up. Okay, let me switch over to this for right now. Okay, so now you'll be able to hear the sound and stuff. Okay, so or let's say hypothetically, you've been at work all day, right? Or you've been at school, right? Like, dude, I got this track in my head. I've been working on it in my head all day. It would sound so good if I put it down on a track. Dude, this is exactly how you do this. Go up to this top section up here, up there, right above the record button where it says generate. Generate you, click track. Go down here, generate click track. I am doing this, by the way, with one hand in terms of strumming, so I won't be able to actually use the fretboard, but I can give you a basic idea of how laying down tracks physically works. The basic principle is all the same, regardless of if you hit notes, if you open strum stuff all the time, it stays the exact general same. So when you pull this up, all this will be highlighted, all the blue will be highlighted. You're going to want to go up here and go back to the beginning, because whatever is highlighted in blue, like hypothetically, if you have this highlighted, if you hit play, it will only play that particular section. That's actually also how you create the loop thing. If you just want to emphasize that one teeny tiny little section, like let's say you're editing something and you just want to hear that one tiny little part, but you're getting sick and tired of hitting play, 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 play. Just record that, click the loop, and then hit play. It will only play that one section over and over and over and over and over until you tell it to stop. If you are trying to isolate that particular part, maybe there's some audio stuff, maybe some clipping going on that you're trying to fix, maybe you're trying to do like a fade-in effect, or you're trying to lower the volume or whatever, or trying to copy, whatever you are trying to do, that's how you take care of that. So you're going to click and hold your left mouse button and just drag it and let go. That is the only section that will play. So with that out of the way, I am going to switch over to my headphones to be able to lay this down, because it creates an input latency, as I said, and it makes it very difficult to do things. So we're going to speakers high definition. Okay, let's say you are at, I was at work, I was trying to lay this track down. Make sure you obviously have loop turned off. Anyways, sorry. I had this track at work. I was thinking about it all night. I just need to get it down on, on a track. It would sound so good. Okay, this is how you take care of that. By the way, I'm doing this one-handed. I'm just giving you an example of how to lay down tracks to begin with. This is just how you do things from a very, very basic standpoint. Okay, that's how you let out a track. That the lines, the patterns that you see right there, that is your audio coming off of your instrument. That's audio. That's an audio file. That's how that works. Now, let's say you want to lay down another track just to kind of, get some practicing or whatever you want to call it. You want to get there is a thing that a lot of people have an issue with when they're not used to recording themselves. It's called red light syndrome, where when you hit that little red button, red light syndrome, you seize up and you completely stop. Everything that you've been working on for the last 12 hours, 8 hours, whatever time frame, in the back of your head, you just magically forget it. Dude, you're not the only one. It happens to everyone who very first starts. Some people still have an issue with it. It's whatever. It happens. No big deal. You just got to keep doing it. You'll eventually get there. Just keep working at it. So we're going to record something and I'll play it back for you so you can hear it, because there's something else that goes with this, but we haven't gotten that far yet. But there is something else to this. So I'm going to give you a very basic track and then play it back for you. This is going to be running through headphones, so just bear with me. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, stop. Hit pause. Hit the pause button, or the space bar, I'm sorry. To start it, you hit the R button on your keyboard. Hit record, it'll start the recording process. If you want to stop the recording process, hit space bar. So R on your keyboard to start it. Space bar to stop the process. Yes, you can go up here and click it, but it's an extreme pain in the ass, and I don't recommend you do that. I recommend you use the hotkeys. If you want to waste your own, fucking time, go for it, whatever. I don't care. I'm just giving you a basic idea of how things operate. So, we have this first track, right? All right, we're going to listen back to it. So let me switch over to my sound bar. This is what we just recorded. Okay, so that's what we just recorded. Now, there's a thing that a lot of bands will do. It's called double tracking. It's a very common thing that a lot of bands do. This is how you do that. By the way, there's a thing where you can set multiple tracks to record at the same time. Don't do that. It will completely negate the stereo effect that you're trying to go through. We're going to create what's called artificial stereo. If you take two tracks, if you put another track on here and you arm both tracks, which is a different process you can do, I'm not going to teach that because I don't recommend it in any way, shape, or form. I personally don't understand why the hell anyone would use it. I have no use for it personally, so I'm not going to be showing that. You can Google it. You can go to Fractal's website. Somebody will show you how to do it. You can Google it. There's somebody out there that will show you how to do it. I myself don't use it. I am kind of borderline religiously against doing it because I just don't believe in it. But we're going to switch back over to headphones. We're going to record this again. I will show you how to do what's called double tracking. We're going to play the exact same thing, and then I'll show you the process afterwards. Hit record. Okay, that part of the process is done. Sorry, I hit an extra key, that window popped up. That's just for effect plugins and things of that nature. I don't use those. I try to simplify things as much as possible. I use my Axe Effects thing to do plugins and stuff. I try to simplify it as much as possible. So anyways, let me switch back over to my soundbar. Samsung. Okay, so now we're going to have the audio play back through here. Okay, what you are going to do, these two tracks are the same, right? They're just recorded separately. That is exactly what you want. You're going to go over here. I'm sorry, I'm trying to do all of this with like one hand, so bear with me. You're going to go over here. You're going to take this, you have two bars. The top one is your volume, your decibel. The one right below it is what's called panning. This controls the strength in which the left speaker, as you can see, there's an L and an R. As you would assume, that's for left and for right. If you take this little ball right here, this is basically the exact same thing for all audio recording, by the way. This is how this works. If you take that and you click it, it says pan center. It's in the center of the speaker. If you take this little ball, by the way, you can put it anywhere you want. It doesn't matter. You're the recording artist. It's entirely up to you. This is a whole nother thing that I could do, hours upon how to do this with multi-tracks. I'm not going to go through all that because that's a huge pain in the ass, and I'm not going to explain all that. because that requires multiple instruments and all that bullshit. I'm just getting you started. That's for you to figure out on your own. With bass guitar and lead guitars and rhythms, that's for you to figure out entirely on your own. So anyways, you're going to take this, and we're going to want to go, let's say, we'll go 100%. Fuck it. We'll just go 100% left, take the bottom track, go 100% right. By the way, where it says audio 1, 2, and 3, I very strongly recommend, if you have like a lead and a rhythm and a bass, to change those labels. You're going to want to go to these three little dots right here. Go to rename track. You can name it whatever you want. It helps with organizational purposes. Sometimes I use it, sometimes I don't. If I'm trying to do like an actual, project, like a big one, yes, I will label these so that they're easier to remember, lead left, lead right, things of that nature. We are going to do, I typically don't do this, but for educational purposes, we are going to do left, just so we know which one goes to which one. So we're going to go left. As you can see, it changed. Now we're going to go to this one, audio 3. We're going to rename it. As you would assume, we're going to name it right. You can do rhythm, you can label it lead, you label it whatever the hell you want, it's your project. You can name it Dixon Pussies and Vaginas. I don't care. Whatever. Whatever helps you remember, you can label it Colorado, Japan, bass instrument. I don't care. Just whatever. Whatever it is that you're going to remember it. So now everything is recorded. Okay, let's make sure that the audio playback, is set correctly. This is what it sounds like when you pan it left and right. Okay. Now this is what happens if you take that those same two tracks and you put them right in the center. This is hard to do with a speaker, by the way. This is so much easier to do with a pair of headphones, just saying. Center. You can change where this starts, by the way. As you can, I don't know if you can hear that, but it's kind of bunched up and in the center. That's not what you want. You want these spaced out so that way when someone's listening to it through a pair of headphones or whatever, it sounds spaced out. Otherwise, everything's all bunched up like right dead smack in the center in between their eyeballs, and it feels like it's overwhelming. So I very strongly recommend, if you are just doing this by yourself, that you pan these 60% left and 60% right. That is what I myself always use. It's not too far out. It's not right smack dab in the center. Okay, so that's all good to go on that. If you have these oddball tiny little artifacts right here and you want to get rid of them, just click and highlight, go up to generate, same place where you generate the click track, go to silence. It'll say generate, you can just hit enter on your spacebar, it does the same thing. Boom, gone. Totally gone. If you did that on accident or you want to redo it, go up to edit, undo silence. It puts it right back to where it was. If you want to do, let's say, but yeah, that's basically how you start recording stuff. You have infinite possibilities for the stuff you could do. You could do, let's say we want to do like a fade-in effect. Like maybe we have a drum track back here, and we just want to do like a fade-in effect. We highlight everything, go to effect. You have all these effects to work with. You have volume and compression, fading, fade in and out, studio fade in, crossfade, which is where one clip is starting to finish and the other one starts, so they just kind of fade together. Pitch and tempo, you can alter the speed, you can alter the pitch that the note is. EQ and filters, if you just want to do bass and treble, maybe it has too much bass and you just want to lower it a little bit. Graphic equalizer, high pass filter, low pass filter. noise reduction, delay and reverb, distortion and modulation. I very strongly recommend, if you're doing a guitar, that you get all of your distortion and your EQing out of the way before it hits the system. Otherwise, you're gonna be sitting here for forever. Try to get as much stuff done as you can in terms of your sound quality and like how your instrument sounds. Here, let me just pull up Axe Effects real quick. Hold on. Give it a chance to load. Try your best. A lot of amplifiers will have some type of PC hardware or software, on your PC to where you can modify your sound. Try to get your sound as dialed in as you can before you start recording, so you spend as little time as possible EQing everything and making sure everything sounds good. This is the plugin that I was using for that sound, by the way. If anybody has an Axe Effects Generation 2 model, I run the Axe Effects 2 XL model. If anybody wants to use this preset, just let me know. I will send it to you. Don't worry about it. It's no big deal. This is just the preset that I myself use. I can give you an idea of how it sounds. Let me switch this over. I'll just give you a generalized idea of how mine sounds. I am using for this a Schecter Omen Extreme 6-string with a push-pull coil tap. I swapped out the pickups for Seymour Duncan Invader SH8 and 6 pickups. So these are not stock pickups. These are Seymour Duncan Invader pickups. So I will give you a generalized idea of what they sound like. Here. Okay. You know what? Fuck it. Let's do this one. Sorry, I'm trying to do something that I typically would actually be playing, but just trying to give you guys a generalized understanding. Okay. Now, you just recorded this. Now, you want to space it out again, right? So go over here, go down to your tracks, go down to L and R. You are going to, for personal preference reasons, you're going to need to go through here and just figure out how you want to pan these. These are infinite possibilities. You can pan this one to the right, you can pan that one to the left. You do whatever you want. If you're trying to do like a solo, I very strongly recommend you just do dead center. Solos should be, right in your face, right in front of you. So if you're trying to do a solo, just pan it center. So that's how to do that part of the process. There's another part to this, but I will wait to see how much traction this generates before I move on. Thanks for watching. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.